Okay.
Good evening and welcome all.
Is that working?
It's not working.
Oh, the other one.
There you
Good evening. Adequate notice of this meeting of the Lawrence Township Council being held on Tuesday, June 17, 2025, has been provided through the posting of the annual meeting schedule of said council in accordance with Section 13 of the Open Public Meetings Act. Said notice was forwarded to the Trentonian, the Times, and the Princeton Packet on December 19, 2024. We will now ask everyone to stand, please, for a moment of silence for former County Executive Brian Hughes. Thank you. We'll just read a brief statement. On behalf of Lawrence Township, we extend our deepest condolences to the family and friends of former Mercer County Executive Brian Hughes. Mr. Hughes dedicated many years of distinguished service to Mercer County, consistently championing the needs of all towns within our county. We are profoundly grateful for his unwavering commitment and leadership, which have had a direct and lasting impact on the Lawrence Township community in many ways. His legacy will be remembered fondly and with deep appreciation. Mayor Patricia Hendricks Sommer and the Lawrence Township Council. I don't know if anybody needs to say anything. I understand that flags will be flying half-mast tomorrow in the state government, county government, and here in our municipal government as well.
By direction of the governor.
By direction of Governor Phil Murphy. And with that, we'll have an inspiration.
May we carry on our work at this meeting in a just, honorable, and sincere manner, always bearing in mind our duties in continuing to keep Lawrence a wonderful community in which to live. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Madam Clerk, if you could please call the roll.
Mr. Bobbin.
Here.
Mr. Kanaki.
Here.
Ms. Perry. Here. Ms. Santos cannot be with us this evening. Mayor Farmer.
Here. Okay, we do have an amendment to the agenda for the proclamation in celebration of Mr. Fred Jacob Chichillo 99th birthday. We will be holding that at a later time. Excuse me. And with that, we will now have the Mayor's Task Force presentation, an update on the Lawrence Community Center.
Okay, am I just standing in front of him?
Oh, we'll take your chairs on the other side. That's peculiar, I don't know why. As we all can see, we are downstairs, as the upstairs chambers are under renovation.
Good evening. My name is Bonnie Giglio. I am a member of the Mayor's Task Force on the future of the Lawrence Community Center. In October 2024, Lawrence Township Council adopted resolution number 34624, establishing the Mayor's Task Force to advise the council on concerns of Lawrence Township residents, address the mission statement and future vision of the Lawrence Community Center, engage the community to ensure decisions reflect township needs, and preserve the center's legacy for all residents. To that end, the task force has met with and gathered information and opinions, data from many people throughout the community over the past 6 months, culminating in an in-person town hall style meeting in May and an online survey. The task force has met once since the town hall meeting, where we heard from another community member who has graciously volunteered to help sort and analyze all of the data that the committee has received. Mary McKillop is a township resident since 2010 with 2 children in the district, and she has a PhD in sociology and over 15 years in education research. She shared with the task force her data analysis, and the task force is grateful to her for lending her expertise and valuable time to helping analyze the data collected. At this time, I'm able to share with the council and the community at large where the data that has been collected has come from. Information has been collected from the community in the following ways. The May 13th meeting had about 100 people in attendance. There were 16 public commenters, notes from facilitators at 12 focus group tables, and 24 individual comment cards. The online survey was open April 15th to May 15th. There were 159 survey responses, including 91 open-ended responses. There were 34 additional respondents via email in the pre-survey. The task force is still analyzing all of the data received and hopes to be able to have more information to present at the next council meeting next month. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, Ms. Giglio. And also just want to share thank you to the Lawrence resident that has agreed to work on the results of the survey and using her skills. We are most appreciative of that. Thank you. And next we will have Mr. Fred Green, Board of Directors of the Lawrence Nonprofit Housing.
Package for and the council people. None for you.
Okay.
Thank you, members of the council, and good afternoon, good evening to all who are here. I'm here to represent the Board of Directors of Lawrence Nonprofit Housing, the sponsors of Eggers Crossing Village. Little did I know at the time that we were building Eggers Crossing Village that 50 years later, I'd be here in front of you, giving you a little lowdown on what's happening at Eggers Crossing Village. Especially when we were fighting for Eggers Crossing Village, we had people in the audience say it wouldn't last 6 months. So I think that's a big difference to from 6 months to 50 years. In 2022, we paid off our 48-year mortgage, and we had to come back and renew our pilot, which is payment in lieu of taxes, to the township, which we were graciously given. And we also, part of that, the refinancing of the mortgage, we did improvements in the village. And we told council from time to time we would come back and give you an update on how the money was spent and what we were doing. And that's what I'm here tonight for. We have after I left managing the development, we hired a management company called PRD, who is doing an excellent job. So, and what I have given council and the town manager is a copy of what I have, and it's pictures. They say photos speak louder than words. So what you have there is pictures of the improvements that we have done thus far. Exciting updates from Eggers Crossing Village. Lawrence Nonprofit Housing is proud to share the positive momentum occurring at Eggers Crossing Village, our affordable housing community dedicated to low to moderate income families. As part of our commitment to creating safe, supportive, and thriving neighborhoods, we made significant strides that we love to celebrate with you. Community enhancements. Recent property improvements have enhanced both the functionality and curb appeal of our community, allowing residents to take pride in their homes. These $2.5 million improvements consist of the following: an expansion to the office and community space used by Every Child Value. That's Every Child Value is our after-school program that we started 20 years ago. Updated underground repiping of the entire complex. That's completed. Before that, every winter, we started having at least 2 or 3, and this was even before I left as manager. We started having, we would have 2 or 3 breakage of water lines, disruptions. And it even got worse as the project got older. So we have completely new water lines throughout the development. Installed all new hose bibs throughout the facility. New HVAC units throughout the complex. That means that each apartment unit has a new heating and air conditioning unit. Updated camera system for the safety of all who call Eggers Crossing Village home. We began updating the kitchen and bathrooms, and you'll have photos of those. Resident empowerment. We broadened resident services, including job training, workshops, youth tutoring programs, and financial literacy classes, all designed to help families grow and succeed. Family-focused events. Eggers Crossing is more than just housing. It's a community. We've hosted seasonal gatherings, culture celebrations, and wellness fairs to bring neighbors together and strengthen community ties. We've also recently we've started a culture club that we're planning on taking bus trips, just like we used to do when we had the Little Center. When we had the Little Center, we used to take bus tours to DC, all over the place. And I mean, we'd have 40 and 50 kids with their families. We invite council members, community partners, and neighbors to visit Eggers Crossing Village to witness these inspiring developments firsthand. Together, we can continue to build stronger and more exclusive Lawrence. And we do wish you would just take a drive through Eggers Crossing Village. And not only Eggers Crossing Village, but Eggers Crossing itself. As I've said, I grew up in Eggers Crossing as a child. My family moved into Eggers Crossing. We lived in substandard housing. We had dirt roads when I was a kid, outhouses, pig pens, chicken coops in everybody's backyard. And today, my street has $600,000 homes that are built. I mean, if the men who I grew up with in Eggers Crossing could come back, they must be looking down and say, you know, Eggers Crossing is going to hell. So, council folks, just take a ride through Eggers Crossing Village. You'd be amazed, how far we've come, and, you know, I always tell people, I'm 91 years old now, so if you hear me tooting my horn, I'm gonna toot it. Because, you know, I don't want you to talk about Fred did all this good stuff, when I'm dead and gone. I want to talk it before I'm history. Thank you, John, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you, Mr. Vernon, and keep on tooting. And as a proud member myself of Eggers Crossing community, I can remember a lot, not as much as you, but I know, you know, the work that you have done and what is currently happening at Eggers Crossing Village with the improvements. The residents there are truly the beneficiaries of the work the PRG is doing. And I'm super excited to hear that Culture Club is back, because I do remember, again, those field trips and how valuable they are to young children, to get them out of the neighborhood, to see other places like Washington, DC, or even Philadelphia is a tremendous opportunity and a great impact for their education. So thank you.
Fred, I looked at the picture of the kitchen. I remember that old kitchen we had to work in on the fish fries and being there setting up. I'm ready to come back and do the hush puppies for you.
That's good, Jim. We're ready for you to come back. And I also want to say, Jim was mayor when the town passed a proclamation to name the street after me. And I thank you, Jim, for that.
Yeah. Just so that it's on the record, what Mr. Green just mentioned is that Mr. Kanaki was the mayor at the time that we created the Fred Vereen Avenue, or Fred Vereen Road, right? It's
Right.
Road. And I had the great pleasure of meeting one of your new neighbors on Fred Vereen Road. And yeah, the neighborhood has changed quite a bit.
Right.
With that, we'll now have the first opportunity for public participation at 5 minutes for things not on the agenda.
Good evening, Mayor, Council. Quick question. Resolution H18, authorizing a closed session of council meeting following regular meeting to discuss the litigation, and it lists the court case there. Apparently, that court case was settled, and my question is, I'm just curious, when will the public see a resolution outlining the terms and the terms of the settlement and the public vote?
Okay. So I don't know if that was for now to discuss, because it's something on the agenda, or should we, because we're gonna address it.
Go ahead, and I can.
So we have not received any information with regard to settlement paperwork that needs to be executed by the mayor or the governing body. So as soon as we receive that and execute that, then that will become information that would be made available to the public.
It's still technically on the docket as an active case, and we have not received any of the documentation. It could come tomorrow, it could come, you know.
Understand,
Yeah.
understand.
But hopefully, by the next meeting, we should hopefully have something.
And there'll be a public vote on that, I would assume.
Of course.
Thank you. Thank you, Council.
This could be the appropriate time, let me just put on the record.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's
go
what I'm
ahead.
gonna say, since it's there, we might as well address it.
Just as a background, on Friday, I think May 29th, I received information from our attorney with regard to litigation that's captioned Capone et al. Versus Colorio et al. It was a matter that was scheduled for trial on June 2nd, and apparently the parties had gotten together and were attempting a resolution. That, I didn't know the details on that Friday. That Monday, we received a request from the insurer that the governing body had to convene to discuss any proposed resolution to the case. I indicated to our attorney and to the insurance carrier that we were scheduled for a June 17th meeting. And we would discuss it at that time. The Superior Court judge apparently indicated that that was unacceptable and that we needed to gather the governing body on an emergent basis over the next couple of days. And because of the 48-hour notice and because of all the schedules that were involved, we were able to get that together on June 5th at 1 p.m. And that's when we scheduled our special meeting. We went into closed session after a motion by Mr. Bobbitt to go into closed session for litigation purposes. And it was seconded, and we had the discussion at that time. The matter is still technically pending at this point, so what we said just a couple minutes ago still stands. But I just wanted the record to reflect that at that meeting, the case was not described, the case was not on the agenda, but the matter was litigation, and litigation is one of those subject matters that are appropriate for executive session. So for the purposes of clarity, it was for Capone et al. Versus Colorio, a matter pending in the Superior Court, Mercer County. And I don't know if we even have a need for a closed session tonight with regard to that matter.
No, I think that adequately covers our concerns. And as indicated a couple of minutes ago, we're still awaiting the documentation with regard to the exact terms of the settlement. So I don't see any need for a closed session this evening. Thank you.
Thank you for that clarification. Is there any public participation?
Apologize. I feel like sitting with my back to everybody. Apologies. Martha Friend, here with my Lawrence Neighbors Together hat on, and I just wanted to give a couple shout outs after our very successful and very wet first annual Lawrence Pride Fest. But there were some folks who I needed to thank. Amy Landau from the Lawrence Health Department was exceptionally helpful. Chrissy Vincent, who secured us an ambulance, at least until they had to go for transport, not an emergency, so that was good to hear. And the two wonderful EMTs, David Zavacki, Jim Lopez, who jumped right in. They were cheering for the runners and the walkers, helped us a little bit with some of the traffic. Our police chief, Redding, Captain Leck, if I'm saying that correctly, I've only emailed, Officer Everest, and former police chief Chris Longo, who attended our event. Our Lawrence clerk, Ms. Carter, very helpful, her exceptional staff, our deputy municipal clerk, and in fact, one of the other staff members who was a vendor at our event, which was wonderful. Manager Nowinski with his expert advice and support, Department of Public Works. We had 50 runners, walkers, and rollers show up in the rain. We had 32 vendors sign up to participate. We didn't get them all because it was a very wet Sunday. We had 12 committed organizers who met repeatedly, always at small businesses in Lawrence, so we can give them our business. Always we have our meetings there. And so many volunteers who showed up to support. Folks just driving by, pulled over. We had a couple of those. Wait, what's going on? Because you know it's so hard to get the message out. And they stayed to help. Connections were made. This benefited the entire town. I don't want to waste everybody's time, but the event sponsors, if you haven't seen our website, are wide-ranging, and many of you are on this list. Thank you so much. But I encourage you to just check out our website, Lawrence Pride Fest. It will be up until, I guess, we start planning the next one. We're meeting this weekend to see if that's going to happen. But just, I think it's worthwhile to look at the expansive list of folks who said, I want to support this. And even looking at those vendors, we worked so hard to make sure that we were going to lift up our small businesses. And of course, the owners of the Lawrence Shopping Center who gave us permission to hold this event there in hopes of bringing some love and support to our Lawrence Shopping Center. So thank you to all those who attended, who supported. Lawrence Neighbors Together is very, very grateful. Thank
you. Yes, and extending kudos to Lawrence Neighbors Together and to Lawrence Pride Fest, our very first one. To me, it was a tremendous success. It created a lot of community good, and we were there, and people really had a good time. I didn't mind the rain at all, and the rainers, the runners did a great job, and the coordination of the committee is to be commended. Seeing no other public participation, we'll close that section out now. And move to the adoption of minutes from the previous meeting.
Mayor,
Sorry. The review and revision of the agenda, and I do believe we have a revision on the agenda.
Yeah, I would like to make a motion to remove 18H18, the closed session to discuss litigation. As it sounds like there's nothing to discuss at this moment.
Correct.
So I'll make that motion.
Okay.
Second.
Is there a
Second.
Alright. Should we do all of them at once? Because we also have another revision. We're going to, under new business. New business, 16A. We're going to move to the next meeting for July 15th, the discussion of agenda meetings.
Okay.
So that we can have a full council present. And do I have a second?
Second.
Okay. Any other changes to the agenda this evening? Seeing none, Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Thank you. And now number 8, the adoption of minutes from our previous meetings.
Mayor, I'll move 8A, regular meeting, the minutes of the regular meeting of February 18th, 2025.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes.
Mayor, I'll move the meeting minutes of, I'll move 8B, regular meeting minutes, March 4th, 2025.
Do we have a second?
Second.
Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Okay, thank you, everyone. And now we'll have the awarding and or rejection of bids.
Mayor, I'll move 9A, number 209, authorizing award of bid 25-7:2025 residential concrete sidewalk program.
Do you have a second
Second.
and an explanation?
This is a part of our sidewalk improvement program, concrete program. Because of the number of participants that, and the scope of work was made known, we were able to calculate that the projected contract would be $82,937. Now, this is money this is money that will be paid by the participating property owners over a period of 5 years as a part of our sidewalk program.
Thanks. Okay. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kaneki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. there any public participation for that? I'm sorry. With the sidewalks, so we're good.
That's not an ordinance.
No, okay, I was on a little story. All right. Introduction of ordinances. Adoption of ordinance 11A.
Mayor, I'll move 11A, ordinance number 2497-25, ordinance amending ordinance 2449-23 by the Township of Lawrence, County of Mercer, State of New Jersey, in order to revise the description of the improvement herein. Improvements to municipal buildings, council chamber improvements including furniture and audio-visual updates, and town hall interior office painting, office furniture, and storage.
I'll second that. Can I second that?
Public hearing.
Oh, public hearing. Was there any questions from the public? Seeing none? Okay.
Did we get a second?
I'll second.
Second.
Second? Okay. Madam Clerk, you can go on.
Can I just provide a brief explanation
Yes.
to the public?
Mhm. Please.
So this is a budgetary requirement for us. This is not an expenditure of new funds. Rather, it's a reallocation of previously approved funding to provide for renovations for our council chamber, which revises the capital budget in accordance with New Jersey budget law. So we have been going through the process of renovations. We're in the process of getting pricing. And to be quite candid with everybody, the chairs are becoming a little bit of a struggle in terms of pricing, in terms of quality. So we're going through and doing our due diligence with regard to it. We want to have something that's nice, respectful, but not expensive, but will also stand the test of time. So we're looking for the appropriate chair for that. And so that's honestly what's kind of driving the expenses, where we find ourselves in a situation where they are more expensive than we anticipated. So we're still working on that. I'll share with you those numbers when I get them.
Which has to be a great investment because they're going from wooden pews to chairs. So I know the public will
It's
appreciate
been
it.
more than 50 years.
More than 50 years, yeah. Thank you. Okay, so we have a motion, a second, and an explanation. Madam Clerk, if you could call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. And now for the manager's report.
I was gonna talk about the renovations. So we are going through our renovations of the council meeting room. Our public works department has really stepped up and has been able to do a lot of the things that are reducing what we thought was gonna be our cost estimate. I think we've kind of figured out they've done, knocked off about $20,000 worth with the value of the contract we did to get us in the game with regard to getting the chairs that we think are appropriate. So I want to thank the Public Works Department for jumping in and doing a lot of that work. We are hopefully on schedule to returning to that room in September. And again, it's all about the chairs, so we'll figure that out once we get our information. As you know, our CFO is scheduled to retire December 1st. We put out an advertisement and we are getting responses. I'm sharing them with Mr. Sypek, who's acting as the point person. This is a governing body appointment. So we have some interesting candidates and we'll continue to receive more resumes. But my recommendation to you all is let's have these interviews of who we believe is appropriate for the job, that meets all the criteria. Let's do them sooner rather than later on a scrolling basis instead of waiting, because we want to try and place the CFO in by September, if not a little bit sooner, so they have the time to spend with our current CFO, so the transition is as seamless as possible. There's a lot to learn in terms of how we do our financing here, and that time is critical, and Mr. Kyriakakis has agreed to do all that he can to be available, be there, and pass the torch to somebody else. Okay? And
I appreciate that.
that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. And now, Mr. Sypek, do you have anything to report?
No, we will have something hopefully by the next meeting with regard to the litigation, and nothing else for this evening there.
Thank you, Madam Clerk. We had an election, so I know you're.
We had an election and it was successful. Everybody did a great job. The county working cohesively. So I'm looking forward to our next one. That's it.
Can I just jump in for 1 second? Mr. Sutton, we were talking about just an announcement for the 2025 fourth round housing plan.
Yes.
The planning board met last night, had received an excellent presentation from our planner, Elizabeth McManus. That presentation is posted on our website for anybody to see. And our fourth round housing plan was passed by the planning board. It's to be submitted to the state for review and certification. So that could take a couple months, but it was a significant work by the planning board and our planner. So that's something that I wanted to inform the public about.
Madam Mayor, if I may, we will have a resolution necessary to be passed in all probability at the July meeting involving our fourth round housing plan. It would be at your discretion, council's discretion, if you want to have the planner here for a brief presentation that evening, maybe at the beginning of the meeting. It's your call. It's a complicated issue that we think we've met the requisite criteria. I had a long discussion with her today over it. So I'm looking towards the July meeting for adoption of a resolution. And it may behoove you to have the planner here just briefly. And I told her of the date, and I think she's available, so it's up to you.
I'm in agreement with that we should have Ms. McManus come before council. And I think, to answer any questions and to give a good presentation. So if the council is in
She gave
favor of
the
that,
same presentation she gave the planning
planning
board.
board, yeah. I think that would be most helpful, the presentation that was given to the planning board yesterday evening. I think not only could council benefit from that, but also the general public would find interest in that. So we'll move forward to extend that invitation to Ms. McManus.
And I would like to just say one more thing.
Yes.
I don't know if y'all met our deputy here.
Oh, yeah, in
Nicole Yeoman.
person, yes.
She wasn't here at the last meeting, but I'd like to just introduce her publicly to everyone. So I would be remiss. So happy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been in person, but okay, unfinished business. Yeah, I don't see any for us. New business, I just wanted to, this is the right place for it. But I'll do it in communication. Or just, that tomorrow we will have our Juneteenth celebration, at 10 a.m. here at Town Hall at the steps. And we're looking forward to, Assemblywoman Varelli Reynolds Jackson will be our speaker, and the Lawrence Township Gospel Choir will be performing. 10 a.m. And we'll have a little breakfast, so you can make it. All right. We got anything else? No? Okay. Then this brings us to the second opportunity for public participation. This is a 3-minute. Okay, seeing no movement, we'll move right along to, the first little, resolutions.
Mayor, if it's all right with the council, I'll move the resolutions in block. I'll move 18C1 through H17 and then H19 as well.
Second. We have a second from Councilwoman Amy Perry. Okay. Okay, I guess we'll call the roll, please.
Mr. Bobbitt,
Yes.
Mr. Kanaki,
Yes.
Ms. Perry,
Yes.
Mayor Farmer.
Yes. Council initiatives and liaison reports, so, we can have, Councilwoman, you go ahead. Okay.
So I would like to give you an update with the fire survey.
Your microphone's
You
off.
gotta do it the other way. One touch. Just one touch.
Okay. I would like to give you an update with the fire survey. We will be presenting our final findings to the council on July 15th for a final determination in our August meeting, so that we can move forward and award the bid.
Any other reports? Let's see, well, as I mentioned, the planning board, as was mentioned, the planning board met, last night. We reviewed and voted on the housing study, so that will be coming before you all July 15th. And there is information on the website under the planning board for additional information. Right along, is there anything else? I'll go to written communication.
Mayor,
Oops.
I know Councilman Knapp won't say anything, but I just want to say good job on the Memorial Day parade.
Oh,
Yes.
It was a wonderful event.
yes.
You always keep us in line. You always keep us on track. You are not lying when you say it's 10 o'clock sharp. We get this going. And we all follow suit, so thank you.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, so I'm going to written communication. In light of Juneteenth, we have a letter from Senator Shirley Turner and the New Jersey Senate. She so graciously also provided us with a proclamation for our Juneteenth celebration. So I'll just read the letter that came along with it. It said, "Dear Mayor Farmer, I'd like to extend my appreciation to Lawrence Township upon its second annual Juneteenth commemoration event. Such events are important for honoring Juneteenth's historical significance and encouraging a deeper understanding of this key moment in American history. Juneteenth, which marks the emancipation of the last enslaved people in the United States, is a day of reflection, remembrance, and celebration. The town's commitment to commemorating this day shows dedication to acknowledging the past and working towards a more united and equitable future. I am grateful for the opportunity to educate our community and gather together to reflect on the meaning of freedom and equality. I would also like to thank the Lawrence Township DEI Committee for organizing this important commemoration. Events like these are vital for promoting cultural awareness and celebrating the richness and resilience of African American history and culture. And we are fortunate to have such a dedicated and hardworking DEI committee in our community. Please accept the accompanying resolution to properly acknowledge and honor Lawrence Township Juneteenth commemoration. Sincerely, Shirley K. Turner, Senator, 15th District." And as was stated, we will not have an executive session this evening. So, wow, okay, I think we're at record time here. Do we have a motion for an adjournment?
Motion for adjournment.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
All right. There we go. Thank you so much.
Where did you go?